Well, day two was a good learning lesson for our team. I think just in general how to fight through some of the soreness from day one. Really understanding the tempo at which we're operating at and what practice can be like when a couple of guys get nicked up and guys have to play more reps. But I thought the offense created some explosive plays in the second practice, which weren't there in the first practice. And so, like I'm used to on this practice field, the competitive nature of the players that we have, one side of the ball can get the better of the other in one day, and then you come back the next practice and the other side can get the better of it. I thought the defense had a great Tuesday. I thought the offense came out and created some explosive plays today for some big plays, and it was kind of their turn. They protected the ball really well, and so we'll come back Saturday and see what happens. But I think that's the environment that we want, that it's extremely competitive, that both sides of the ball, when they're prepared and do things the right way, can have success.
Who's standing out as a leader on the defense this year? I know you weren't quite here last year to see, maybe, but who stepped up for you?
Well, I think early on, we're 2 practices in, but I think Hayes obviously has got a natural leadership about him. I think the players really look up to him, and deservedly so. He conducts himself in a great manner, not only on the field but off the field. He's got a professional approach to things, and he plays really well on top of that. So I think that he's really a natural leader on that front. I think Antoine Woods is kind of stepping up in his leadership role. I think that he's really maturing. So there's a lot of guys, but I think those 2 guys really jump out at me early on.
How do you get guys like Shaw and Leonard, who are out right now, to really participate and continue to be leaders for this team?
Well, we really have a huge emphasis on walkthroughs right now. Prior to practice, we do about a 45-minute walkthrough in the AM that those guys are full participants in, and they get a lot of their mental reps that way. Obviously in meeting times and obviously in certain drills and practice when they can be out there in our teach periods, we just have to maximize those opportunities when we get them. And to our credit, Josh Shaw, Leonard Williams, those types of guys, they love the game of football. They love USC. They wish they could be participating. So when they get their chances, even in those walkthrough type periods, they're really engaged and focused.
Cope Fitzpatrick made a couple plays today.
They did.
How important of a player is he, given how thin you are at that spot?
Well, it's big. In this system, we have, we love to utilize the tight end, and a lot of times multiple tight ends. I think we've seen that just kind of in years past. The history tells us that. I think Jalen has really focused himself on trying to come out and have a good spring. I thought he was really attentive and locked in on Tuesday, and then he got opportunities today to make plays down the field, and he made them, and I think that's what he's capable of. He's an athletic guy. He's got tremendous ball skills, and so I think he's seeing a real opportunity to step up and make plays, and he's doing it.
Coach Stuart Craven said he has to work on his man skills through spring. How do you think his man skills are?
I'm not sure what the man skills
Well, yeah, that's what I followed up with, and he said playing multiple positions.
Yeah. Well, that's what spring for us is for. It's about developing the players, not just one-dimensionally. It's about allowing guys to do more than one thing. All of our receivers are learning every position right now. The DBs are learning multiple positions, the linebackers, because when you don't have all of the depth that you'd like to have, the way to compensate that for is if somebody does get injured, you have multiple guys that can go play that position. And so for us, that's what the spring's about, is teaching our guys our schemes really, really well, and then developing them individually so that when the fall rolls around, regardless of what setbacks it might appear that we can have really quality players go in and play different positions and not fall off anywhere.
You've seen 2 practices now. Any surprises? Something that you didn't expect?
I don't know. I really tried to come in with an open mind. Quite honestly, I didn't try to come in with any kind of preconceived thoughts or notions of what was going to happen. I just wanted to motivate these guys really well, put a good, clean practice plan together for them that I felt like they could perform under, but challenge them physically and challenge them mentally. I think that we've responded well. I think there's areas that we can definitely improve upon, and that's part of spring, that's part of coaching, it's part of looking at the film. So I don't know if there's necessarily surprises because I didn't have any expectations. It was more about us coming and doing something the way we think we're capable of doing it and working towards that every single day. So all in all, I'm pleased 2 practices in. We have not been perfect by any means, and so that's why you work. That's why you love spring practice, and you come out and you're energetic and you're upbeat, when you're around a group of guys that like to compete, that like to get better, that want to work, and this group definitely is that manner, has those mannerisms about them.
Have you had much of a chance to look at the defensive side of things, and if you have, what kind of are your...
I really have. When we go watch the film, I watch it. By the next time I talk to you guys, I'll probably watch that practice film nearly 10 times. And I watch every drill. I watch all the individual drills. I make a lot of notes. We take a lot of notes, and we meet quite a bit as a staff. I'll watch the film with the defensive staff tomorrow morning. And what I think of it is that we have a really talented group. I think we've got a good scheme that fits our personnel right now, and we're still implementing it. But I love the depth of our defensive front. I love the talent and athleticism of our secondary. Obviously, that'll be enhanced when we get Josh Shaw back and when we get Leonard back. But all in all, I think that this is going to be a good group for us. I think to be a really good football team, you have to play really good defense, and I think we're going to have the capability to do that.
Players on both sides of the ball have kind of talked about how a lot of things, terminology-wise, philosophically, are similar to what they were running last year. Given that, how much easier does it make your job to come in? You're not teaching this to an entirely different philosophical team. You at least have some base that you can build off of.
We're not counting on that. We're teaching it the best way we can teach it, and not relying on their any prior knowledge that they may have. It might be beneficial to them, but we're definitely not relying on it. We're installing and teaching our schemes and fundamentals and techniques as if they don't know it at all. And if they have a benefit of that, of having some carryover, that's for them. But quite honestly, we're teaching it like they're as raw as they are, and we're going to do the best job we can to teach our schemes, our fundamentals, our techniques from ground zero, and then build it up.
When would be the first time you would scrimmage?
Oh, realistically, we won't scrimmage Saturday. We'll be in shoulder pads and helmets Saturday. We're going to come back out of the break and really implement those first 3 practices just like we had this week again for practices 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll find some scrimmage periods as we move forward. I don't know, Gary, if we're ever going to come out and have a 2-hour scrimmage. I don't know if that really, if that we benefit from that. But there will be portions of our practice that will be live and be scrimmage oriented, and I think that'll allow us to tackle, it'll allow us to cut block, it'll allow us to learn from those things, but not be so overly fatigued to where guys can start getting injured. So we're going to tackle and we're going to play football, but I don't know if it'll be for an extended 2-hour period. I think it'll be broken up within a practice, and we'll be efficient when we do it.
You probably answered this already, but the quarterbacks, what did you think?
I thought they played well today. I think that they're starting to, they've recognized the speed coming out of Tuesday's practice of how fast things go and how quickly they have to recognize fronts and coverages and make those quick decisions, similar to how a point guard would have to make quick decisions on a basketball court. And I thought both Cody and Max were much better at that today. They took easy completions when they got them, and then that allowed them to create some big plays down the field when maybe our DBs got a little bit nosy. So all in all, I thought they had a much better Thursday than Tuesday, and they protected the ball, which is the ultimate key.
And
Do one more.
Got less reps
A little bit less reps, but to Jalen's credit, he goes in, he throws a touchdown pass. That's it's a guy that's prepared. He'll get plenty of reps. We've got 13 more to go, so he'll get his time. We just felt like it was important to get Cody and Max some extended reps in today's practice.
The way you running the ball out of your offense with the shotgun and that, does that really play into the strengths of Buck and Trey and that? Are you seeing things?
I don't know yet. Quite honestly, we're still in helmets, and jerseys right now. I think that we had a little better feel in today's practice. Tuesday's practice was primarily an inside zone running practice. We needed to get that installed with our offensive line and the fundamentals and techniques of how inside zone worked. Today there was a much bigger emphasis on it, on the outside zone scheme, which both schemes they're both familiar with. They've ran in the past. They looked very comfortable running the ball to the edge today. So we'll build off of it, and we'll see. But I think we're off to a good start.